Who wants to hear a fun fact? I mean, you can't really respond, and I'm the only one who's allowed to talk, so I'm just gonna tell you one anyway. I have never read the Percy Jackson series. I was, and still am, a pretty avid reader, so it's quite surprising to me. But it's summer, and I've got a public library, so we're gonna go get that book, well, those books, and I am going to read Percy Jackson for the first time ever. Here I am. I've got 4 books, starting with book 2. That's not how I'm going to read it. I'm going to start with book 1, but the library had book 1 checked out. So I got it on the Kindle while I was there before I checked out to make sure I'd be able to read it. It is 1:45 p.m. on Tuesday, and I'm gonna get started. We're gonna see how much I can read and how much of the series I can get through. I've just finished the first quarter of a book. I'm 25% in, which it tells me because I'm on Kindle. And we're just past the bathroom incident. I love reading books for younger audiences. It's so fun. I just took a break to snack, a longer break than intended because I also did the dishes. It's like 3:30, and I am gonna go for a walk. I'm gonna read on a walk. It's windy and all the outside noises are going, so I hope this clip isn't too bad. But I've been outside reading for, I don't know, an hour after my walk. I'm 45% of the way through. Right now, they're at Annie M's, which is the garden gnome seller who's giving them food. It's a little suspicious, but it reminded me that I need to make dinner. So I'm gonna take a break and go make dinner, and then read as much as I can before I go to sleep. It's a little after 9. I've just had some dessert. I finished the first one on my walk. I'll be going to bed soon, but I'm going to read until then, and I guess I'm starting the second book. Late morning, 9:45. I am about 45% into the Sea of Monsters. I'm enjoying it so far. As crazy as it sounds, the stakes seem a little lower this book, and it's a shorter, I think. It's hard to tell because I read the first one on Kindle, but I'm having fun with it all the same. I just stopped reading because I'm about to go thrifting. It'll kind of break up my reading, so I'm not just sitting and reading all day, because it's harder to go for a walk and read whenever you got a physical book than whenever I was reading the Kindle yesterday, so I probably won't be doing that as much. I feel like a lot would have to go wrong for me to not be able to finish this book and part of the third book today, but we'll see what's happening later. I just finished book 2. It's like 5:30. I decided to turn on the camera and record some thoughts. So far, for both of them, I'm getting into the story pretty well. I love that it's a children's book because they don't assume that I have previous knowledge of Greek mythology. Most things got an explanation. On top of that, I really love the chapter titles. I love that they're kind of long-winded. For this book, I liked parts of it more and parts of it less in the first book. I kind of missed the world building that I got in the first book. Now that I'm reading it, I don't know why I never read it as a kid. Like, 4th and 5th grade of me would have loved this. But I think I was too proud to admit it then. I didn't really want to take suggestions from other people, and it was not my idea to read it, so it's not surprising that I never read it. But I do think I would have really liked it. I guess I'm going to read a couple chapters of the third book, and then I'm going to go make dinner. morning, it's another day. I'm like 55% into The Titan's Curse. I'm about to leave to go shopping with my sisters. I'm just gonna bring the book and read as much as I can. My sisters and I had a successful outing when we went shopping. I got to read quite a bit in the car. Since then, I've had lunch, and then I went and sat outside to read. I finished the third book while I was out there. I must admit, I'm disappointed by the existence of fart arrows. That was really humbling. It was like a slap in the face reminder that this book was made for children or a younger audience. But I'm still enjoying it. I'm about 100 pages into the fourth book. I started that while I was outside too. The fourth book has 361 pages, I think. I try not to look too hard to avoid spoilers. I'll get back to reading soon. Get as much of this done today, I guess. I think my biggest problem with the book so far is like the human connection relationship of it all. This is a bit of a spoiler, but for the second and third book, one of the main characters is gone for pretty much the entire book. And I feel like maybe you should have waited to do that, because I just never got 100% connected to them yet. I'm only 3 books in, and we've only had one book where the main group is all together. I hope I get more of that in the next 2 books. It's 10 till 11. I just finished the Battle of the Labyrinth. I really enjoyed this one. So far this morning, all I've done is wake up and read. So I'm gonna take a break before I start the final book. And I know that there are 2 newer ones, but I'm not going to worry about trying to find and read those right now. Anyway, that's all. I did want to mention, if you haven't put it together, I got glasses yesterday. I don't need them every time I read, but if you see me wearing them, they're new. These 5 books in 4 days. I feel like I'll understand pieces of culture that the people around me understand. In person, there aren't actually that many people around me that make references to the series, so it's not like I've been missing out on conversation, but I see references to it, and I know that the series is continuing to come out. Television series, that is. And I know that there are a bunch more books, but we're starting small. Before I go, I'll tell you my Goodreads ratings, because I always rate books on a scale of 10. That's more complicated. I haven't decided what I'm giving these exactly, but Goodreads, it only does 1 to 5, and there's no half stars even, so it's really, you just have to click it and go with it. At least that's the way I handle it. First book got 4 stars, a high 4 stars, but as I said, Goodreads is just 4 stars. Second book was 3 stars. Third book was also 3 stars, but a higher 3 stars. Fourth book was 4 stars, and fifth book was 4 stars, I think. Ranking them from favorite to least favorite. These are all like pretty close. The first book and the fourth book are like my favorites, at least on this first read. Then the fifth book, then the third book, then the second one's my least favorite. For the first 3 books, I spent so much time trying to remember who everyone was and their relations and their parents when they're demigods. And then after that, I was like, if it's important enough, I'll remember it. And then there were also some characters that they would call by 2 different names. I think I've got it all down now, and if someone tries to talk to me about it, I'll know what they're talking about. But that got me for a little while. And then how the first 4 books, it's like almost setting up a relationship, and then the beginning of the 5th book, it's like, well, they're cousins, but not really, because you can't really share DNA when you're a god. And I was like, okay, well, that's kind of a throwaway, but it's fine. It made me feel weird a little bit. They had so much time, and that's what they went with. For Athena, it's one thing because it's literally a baby by mind. I feel like they could have just went with that route, and it'd be less throwaway, because that was mentioned earlier. But instead, they just came in at the beginning of the 5th book, and they were like, well, they're technically related. But it was fun. I'm glad I did it. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.